I'm going to try to record this time, and hopefully this will continue. There's a bunch of kids there all of a sudden, so that's good.
Perfect.
I think that there's just a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, and it could be just with the fact it's Wednesday versus our regular time. Good morning to everybody that's coming in. If you're just coming in, please go ahead and turn your screen on just so I can confirm attendance and make sure that you are indeed you.
Good morning.
All right, so I see you, Kayla.
That's for me?
Yeah, just pass it out to the ones that are here.
Oh, the most wonderful children ever. Okay, I will.
And Jasmine, awesome. And excellent. For those of you that are coming in, if you can turn your cameras on just so I can confirm attendance. So I need to see Jordan, or Jordan's still loading. So Elliot, Soraya, if you all could go ahead and just confirm your attendance. So go ahead and turn your screen on. If you need to turn it off after that, then that's fine. Just need to see you. All right, Soraya, thank you very much. So waiting to see Jordan.
Good deal.
So again, if you are just coming in, please go ahead and turn your screen on so I can finalize the attendance.
Yep.
And let's see.
Good morning, beautiful children.
People.
Good
morning, Danette. I missed you. I didn't see you. Okay, how's it going?
Yeah, Hudson looked like an aquarium. All right, so last time we were in class, we had said if you needed to reschedule the biomolecule enzyme quiz, that you could do it on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Yesterday was a bit of a cluster, so there was a bit of a problem with the connectivity. So that was not able to be carried out at 3 o'clock yesterday. We will be able to carry that out at 3 o'clock on Thursday, so tomorrow at 3. I'm sorry for the inconvenience that we had. It wasn't anybody's fault. It just is what it was, and we had to make the best of the tough situation. And those of you guys that still were managed to log in at the correct time, kudos to you, man. I don't know how many hoops that you had to jump through in order to do that, but hopefully tomorrow everything will be reestablished and connectivity will be even better than it is today. At least that's my my hope. And we'll be able to carry that out, and that retake will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And again, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and those of you guys that persevered and moved through that. That's great. If you're listening to the recording, then you can just follow the steps that everybody takes today, and you can move through this assignment on your own this evening. Again, anything that we're doing today is not going to be graded until midnight. And before I say that, so there were some problems that we had. I want to mention, if you guys would like me to reopen your document that you submitted, anything that's scored above a 50, I'll have that grade in there. But if you would like me to reopen that based on the feedback that I've given you and resubmit it, I need you to send me a remind message, and I will reopen yours. I'll unsubmit it from the last class. But by and large, I will say you guys did a really good job. Some things that you need to remember, though, some tips from the last class. The last class, you guys had to go in and compare a formula to a model. You want to make sure that if your formula is written one way, that your model is written the same way. You can compare those two. So they should agree. So your substrates for the model should be the substrates for your formula. The products for your model should be the products for your formula. And if you didn't write incomplete sentences, you had misspellings, you didn't use capitalization, rules of capitalization, you didn't put punctuation, I'm not taking that, guys. You're in high school. So that wasn't counted. So you need to go back and make those corrections. If you would like to make those corrections, you can send a remind message and you will get a chance to make those corrections. And so there you go. So here we go. We're gonna start. I know a lot of you guys are having a little bit of difficulty getting in. Again, this is being recorded, so if you're coming in late, please do. And I'll mention this about Mario. Mario, you just got in. I'm going to have a recording for this. You probably want to go back and watch the first 5 minutes of the recording. But we do need to move forward a little bit so that you guys can get through this. So today our topic is going to be cellular respiration. Not respiration like you're breathing necessarily, but at the cellular level, which begs a question. This is your question. Why do you breathe? And you can say it out loud or you can put it in the chat. We'll wait 30 seconds. Why do you breathe? Who are my risk takers today? Who are the kids that are not scared? Give us some answers. You can chat it out to everybody. You don't have to put it privately. Thank you. To get blood, to get our blood oxygen, to get oxygen flowing through our lungs and heart. Excellent. Let's keep it up. To get your heart pumping. Okay. Why do we need? So we'll get some ideas of oxygen here, right? So we've got 3 people that aren't scared because of plants. So we breathe because of plants. I guess it's kind of technically true. If plants all of a sudden went extinct, we'd still have a little bit of oxygen in the air. Would I still breathe? So that's a good question. Why do you breathe? Why do you breathe? See if we can get some more answers. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. So the next question is, a lot of you guys were mentioning, there were 7 of you guys that took some risk for here, and you said, why do we need oxygen? I need to get oxygen in my heart. I need to get oxygen into my lungs. I need to get oxygen into my bloodstream. Well, why do you need oxygen? So there's a game of 5 whys. If you really want to know, do you understand something? You ask yourself a question. And why do I go to school? To get an education. Why do you need an education? Because I would like to have a job. Why do you need a job? Because I would like to not be to live in poverty. Why don't you want to live in poverty? Because I would like to have economic freedom. Why do you want economic freedom? Well, it gives me political freedom. Why do you need political freedom? Because I want to have a say in how my life works. You want to kind of ask yourself these 5 whys. What are we thinking here? My boss asks us to do that all the time. So why do we breathe? And I've got some of you guys that have said to survive. Well, why do I need it to survive? And why do I need to control it? I got Zanette says to take carbon dioxide out of our body and bring oxygen into our cells. But why do I need to get carbon dioxide out and oxygen in? And I don't fully expect you guys to be able to answer that question by the end of the day, but you should be able to answer it by the end of your junior year. I'm always have an essay for this unit for my juniors where they have to write about this at the end of their test. And it's 50% of their test is based on this question. And they have to write an essay, no shorter than 250 words to be able to get past the exam. So the answer to this question, to get it in 1 sentence, is to react with hydrogen ions to keep respiration occurring. That's the short version. I don't expect you guys to know that. But there's other reasons to ask these questions. So this is a question I asked my spouse on our first date. One of the very first questions I ever asked this woman right here, who, by the way, is the most wonderful woman on earth. She's, in my opinion. We were on a date and I asked her, why do you think you breathe? And I was trying to be kind of cool about it, right? Like, not like I'm quizzing her or anything. So, you ever wonder why you breathe? You ever wonder why you breathe? And she's like, yeah, to get oxygen. Whatever, wonder why you need oxygen? Now, I think she kind of knew that I was probably quizzing her a little bit because it was, I'm a bio major, right? But she had a good answer and she understood it. She had taken biology. She knew why she'd breathe. But there was a reason I asked this question. And the reason I asked this question was because I knew that one day, and I didn't want to have kids, but I knew one day if I did end up being with somebody that I was, dating, if I ended up making a family with them, or if I ended up marrying them, that I might have a family with them. And did I want a partner that I could have a nice conversation with? Did I have somebody that was curious? Did I have somebody that if they were going to be a mother to our children, would be a mother that would entertain the questions of our children? So kids ask a lot of questions. Why, how? Were they going to be somebody that was just going to say, well, it's that way because it's that way? Or are they going to be somebody who would listen to their questions and entertain their questions and talk to them about their answers? And that was really important to me. So you never really know where your understanding of education is going to lead you. Getting an education is really important because you never know what is going to come down the pipe, so to speak. And because of that question, I ended up with 2 of the most wonderful children and a spouse. So I really like the idea behind this concept. So we're going to explore this a little bit. So obviously, the last time we talked about photosynthesis, we said that we were storing energy. So this time we're releasing energy. Oh, by the way, who's going to tell me to shut up today? Let's see, who's the person? Let's make it Hudson. Hudson, I need you to set a timer for 20 minutes. Can you do that? I need to know. Hudson, you've got 10 seconds to respond or I go to somebody else. Let's see, Hudson. Hudson says, okay, cool. You know what to do at the end of 20 minutes, correct? Yes or no? Yes, okay, thank you, Hudson. It's on you. You got it, baby, you got it. All right, so this is the process where we're going to be releasing energy, not storing energy. We also had a word that we explored last time, and we said converts. So in the chat, I'm gonna call somebody out. Let's say it's gonna be Giselle. Giselle, what does convert? Give me a synonym. What is the word convert? What is another word that we could use? And don't do it privately, do it for everybody, so everybody see it. Let's see if you got it correct. What is a word that we could use other than convert? What's a synonym that we could use for convert? And it just went away. And I don't know if she's still here. She may have got dropped. I hope not. I don't see her, but I need an answer from Giselle. I need an answer from Giselle.
I wrote it on my notes, I think.
Okay, I believe you. So we'll give you a moment to find it. And you guys are you guys able to text one another through the chat box? Send private messages? Or just to us? Okay, cool. Well, somebody could help her too. It just has to come out of her mouth. Oh, gosh. Jasmine, why don't you send it to everybody? I'm waiting for, if you send it to her, not me, I got to hear it from her. Somebody may be chatting with you too, Giselle. What's another word? Yeah, change. Awesome. Excellent. Good job. So how about this, Brasenio? What's another word? We said change and another word as well. So we could say convert means changing chemical energy. In this case, the respiration takes chemical energy that we get from photosynthesis, and we also convert it into other chemical energy that we use for work. And then that work can transform it into all sorts of energy. What's another word that we could say? Because I don't know what these assessments are going to say. They may not say convert. They may say change. They also could say something else. What's another synonym for convert? And somebody can help you. You can text it to her or chat it to her, but it has to come from Brasenio. We said convert could mean change, and there was another word that we settled on, and I wrote it down. I got it right here. It came from you guys. It's not cause, it's something else. It starts with the T. It starts with the T. It was trance something. Trance something. Do you got, whoa. You got to chat it to her. I got to hear it from her. You're just throwing it out there. I want to hear Brasenio say it to me. You got it, Brasenio. Transform. So we can take energy and transform it into other types of energy. And respiration does that. We're transforming the chemical energy of glucose in photosynthesis and transforming it into another chemical energy called ATP. But then that can be changed into other things as well. So another thing that a lot of you guys did that was tough or that didn't do exactly too well on the assignment last class was you identified fungi. And so I changed this yesterday because fungi are not autotrophs. You identified plants, which specifically in the last assignment, you had to identify on the food chain what were my autotrophs. And some of you guys identified fungi and the grass as producers, and producers are going to be obviously autotrophs. They're not. Fungi are heterotrophs. Their fungus, like a mushroom, is not a photosynthetic organism. They're not. They're heterotrophs just like us. And so remember hetero. So heterotrophs are consumers. What does the word hetero, the root of the hetero mean? What does the word hetero mean? So let's go to Kenneth. What does hetero mean? So hi, if something is, what is the root? We looked at this last time. Autotroph, we said, was a self-feeder. What did we say heterotrophs were? What is the root hetero? And we're talking to Kenneth High. And you guys can text it to him or chat it to him, but it's got to come from Kenneth. What does hetero mean? Ooh, Bersino, you're awesome. Text that over to Kenneth so we can get moving here. I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at to shut up in a minute. Oh my God, Giselle, it still has to get to Kenneth. Somehow Kenneth isn't hearing us. Somehow we gotta have to get over to Kenneth. Maybe he'll check the chat. What does hetero mean? Yo, Kenneth, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me?
I'm sending a chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down and find out where he is in a second. I think he's not in the right place, maybe. I'll go down to the room in a moment when we go to the guided practice. I'm gonna jump to somebody else in the meantime. So let's go to Elliot James. Elliot James, can you tell me what hetero means? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We're struggling over here. So
he's saying no, he can't hear.
Okay, I'll see if I can't fix that during the break.
Okay.
So Elliot, hetero, what's the meaning of hetero? I got to make sure they were all following along. Try not to leave anybody behind. The meaning of the word hetero or the root hetero.
The meaning of hetero is different.
Absolutely. So hetero is different. Good job. So if we're looking at this, hetero is different. And we say that we are consumers because we eat, therefore we're heterotrophic. We do not synthesize our own food. If we were photosynthetic, then we would be consumers, but we're not. We're heterotrophs. And again, just like you said, hetero means different, troph means feeding. Heterotroph is a different feeder. So I am a different feeder. I eat on things that I kill and consume. I consume other organisms. I cannot make my own food. I am not an autotroph. I'm not a producer. I'm a consumer. I'm a heterotroph. The animals are heterotrophs, so we're fungi. But again, this is the whole idea of taking chemical energy and going from chemical energy to chemical energy again. So this is looks like an antelope, a gazelle. What am I saying? A gazelle, not a Giselle, that would be weird. But I have this, this is a cheetah, and it has killed this gazelle, this antelope, and it takes the chemical energy in this antelope, which this antelope took the chemical energy from a plant, which took light energy, converted to chemical energy. They eat it, and then they're able to make their own chemical energy. But then they convert that chemical energy into other types of energy. They convert it or transform it or change it into thermal energy. There's heat and also kinetic energy. So there's going to be kinetic energy or mechanical energy that they use to run. So they'll take the energy stored in one organism and they'll use it for their own purposes. And then heat is really a byproduct, right? So if you feel your forehead, you can touch your forehead like I'm doing now, and that's basically your breakfast and dinner coming out and is heat. Your brains are working and releasing heat as a byproduct. When you look at cells, we're going to look at again, we're going to look at an animal cell and a plant cell. I can see mitochondria, or the organelle where this occurs, and mitochondria are here in an animal cell, but also a plant cell has mitochondria. They're making energy, or not making energy, excuse me, they're converting light energy into chemical energy for their own purposes. they convert a ton of it because they know something's going to come along and eat it, eat them. And so they have to convert that a lot of chemical energy because they get eaten all the time. But they're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for animals because animals come along and eat them. They're doing it for themselves to stay alive. But we also use that same organelle, this mitochondria, to release that energy. And they store energy. They synthesize chemical energy with their chloroplast, but they release it with their mitochondria. They're working, these two organelles are working together. We only have one of these organelles. So plants in a way are a lot better at life than we are. Plants have been here longer than humans, and they'll probably be here after humans. Plants do pretty well in the environment. If we look at this, this mitochondria, you should be able to recognize it. It's pretty straightforward. It's got two compartments. It's got an outer compartment because it's got an inner and outer membrane. It's got two membranes because of endosymbiosis. It's got an outer compartment. It's got an inner compartment. The inner compartment, you can see, we call them these cristae, these little folds, and inside those cristae is what we call a matrix. You don't really need to know all that just yet, but this is what you should be able to recognize. It kind of looks like a bean. It's got these little folds inside of it, and that is a mitochondria, and this is where it's really going to be, the action is taking place. So we're looking at the formula. How is this formula different than what we saw last time? When you saw your formula for photosynthesis, how was that one different than this one? How is it different? There's really, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 differences. Let's see if we can just get through. Last class we said 2. We can get 3. You guys, you can see ATP in this one. That's right, there's ATP in this one, but there's not ATP in photosynthesis coming out of it. Excellent, that's one difference. Let's see if we get 2 more. Thank you, Vu. She's the one who put that out there. Thank you, Vu. There's 36 ATP coming out of respiration. There's no ATP coming out of, and I can help you with that. So this is the chemical energy that we use to do work. What kind of energy is in the formula for, good job, Zanette. This replaces the light energy. There's no light energy in respiration. We're not photosynthetic. I also don't emit light. I'm not the sun. That would be tripped out if that were the case. There's no light energy. What's another difference between this one and photosynthesis? Notice the products in this and the substrates. Really look at it. It has more products in photosynthesis, that's for sure. That's a good point. It's got a lot more products. What else do you notice? More products towards the end, I agree with you. That's not really the point I'm trying to get across. Notice what the products are. So the products are CO2 and water and ATP. CO2 and water. Oh, how is that different? How is that different than photosynthesis? How is that different? How is CO2 and water as products? How is that different than photosynthesis? The last formula we saw last time. How is that different? And if you need to go back and look at your old document that you worked on for homework 2 days ago, you can do that. I'm not going to move, though, until I get somebody to chime in. How is CO2 and water being a product different than photosynthesis? Or look at glucose. I've got glucose here and oxygen as substrates. How is that different than photosynthesis? How much time do I have, Hudson? Oh, good job, Mario. Excellent, 6 minutes. Okay, because I got to stop. If you guys don't help me, I'm stuck here and I can only go. And then Hudson's going to tell me to shut up in 6 minutes and I got to cut you loose for the guided practice. So we don't want to do that. I want you guys to help as much as possible. You're right. They're reverse. So I've got those reverse. So CO2 and water are substrates in photosynthesis, but they're products in respiration. Glucose and oxygen are substrates in respiration, but they're products in photosynthesis. So they're reversed. These two formulas are reversed. So let's look at the model really quick. There's different stages of respiration. There's 3 different processes. And we can compare this to the formula we just saw. Here's glucose. Glucose is written a different way. So I've got 6 carbons. That's what these little dots mean. But glucose is going in. I know that's a substrate because my arrow is going into the reaction. What's coming out of the reaction is ATP. That agrees with that formula. CO2 is coming out. The arrows are coming out. So remember, when we're reading diagrams, all we got to really look for is arrows going in, arrows going out. ATP is coming out. CO2 is coming out. I see water here. Water is also coming out of this reaction. Oxygen's going in. So it's substrate, 2 substrates, oxygen and glucose. So I've got these 2. And then I got ATP, water, and CO2. CO2 is coming out of your mouth. You're breathing that now. And water is coming out. So you'll TT this. That's how you'll get it out of your body. The water, your TT is coming out of these mitochondria essentially. And then you're breathing the CO2. It takes about 6 minutes. So take a breath for a minute, blow into your hand. That air that just blew into your hand or your mask maybe, that was in a mitochondria. That CO2 that came out of your mouth just now was in a mitochondria about 6 minutes ago. And now it's coming out of your mouth. And it's really awesome to think about. It's almost just poetic and beautiful. Here's another look at the model. So let's look. I see glucose. Glucose is going in the first stage. So glucose is going in. And you can see it's going into the Krebs cycle. You don't need to know what's going on in the Krebs cycle. Just see glucose is going into the Krebs cycle. The electron transport chain, I've got ATP coming out of it. I've got ATP coming out of the Krebs cycle. But notice you don't see the water. So water should be coming out of here. Oxygen should be coming in here. But they don't put that in there. They're not, different models are going to have different outputs. I also should be having CO2 coming out of the Krebs cycle. If I go back and look, I can see here's my CO2 coming out of the Krebs cycle, and I know water is going out of the electron transport chain as well. It just depends on what model it is you're looking for. And in a moment, when you go to the gynecologist, you're welcome to come back here and interpret these models. You need to be able to interpret models and diagrams as well as formulas. This is a skill that you have to have. Let's look at the formula in detail. Again, I've got these color-coded, so my substrates or reactants, there, in this case, they're orange. I've got oxygen and glucose. They're going into the reaction. Out of it, I've got CO2 and water. CO2 and water. And then I use the ATP for the chemical energy that I need to do work, breathe, love my mother, love my children, whatever it is you do. You do all your actions with the use of this molecule ATP. So which side is more organized? My substrates or my products? We did this last time. Remember how we did it? And we're counting the number of molecules. So drop it in the chat. Which side is more organized? Which side is more organized? The substrates or products? Drop it in the chat. There are 19 of you, so we expect 19. Which side is more organized? Try to do it privately, because now everybody's just going with what somebody else said. Remember, it's about counting the number of molecules. The one that has the fewest number of molecules, they both have the same mass, but which one has the fewest number of molecules is the most organized. Got 8. There's 8 of you, so we need 11 more answers. And when Hudson tells me to be quiet, I have to be quiet. So I can only help you as much as you participate. Good job, Arsenio. There's 11 of you now. You can text them to myself and Dr. Smith as well. So we're looking for 8 more answers. I need 8 more answers. And I'm stuck like Chuck. I can't move until you guys give us some answers. The products or the substrates? Take a chance. Good, good. Thank you, Batiste. Thank you, Cassell. One more. We're only looking for one more. One more. One more. Okay, and I love the risk taker. So in this case, there are only 3 people that got this correct. And Jeremiah, you were the last person that got it correct. The substrates are the most organized. I only have 6 oxygen, 6 molecules of oxygen, and 1. Remember, Dr. in algebra, there's nothing in front of it. You assume there's just 1. So I've got 1 glucose and 6 oxygens. That's 7 molecules. Here I've got 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 36 is 48. So this is 48 molecules, but they have the same mass. These 2 things have the same mass. These have been broken. These have been broken into 7 pieces. If you want to think of it like a glass hits the floor and it breaks into different parts. Well, if there's only 7 pieces of glass, it's easier to pick up because it's more organized. If I shatter a glass into 40, that's it? I get to shut up?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so that's where I stop. I don't get to go any further. Thank you, Hudson. I am done. Thank you guys for participating. I'm going to cut you guys loose for the guided practice now to make sure we have time for that. But definitely this is the more organized side, guys. This is going to be respiration. We're breaking stuff down. I'm chewing it. I'm digesting it. That's going to definitely be less organized. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to go to Schoology. Let's make sure everybody's there. I'm going to come back and show you Schoology, where to go. Go to your class. So we're going to, you guys are section 5. Kind of in a weird order here. So we're going to go to class content. We go to unit 2, month of October. And we're going to cellular respiration. Click cellular respiration and you open respiration. And I'm going to do the very first example, and then you guys are going to do the rest of this. While you guys are there, I'm going to click and make sure that it is attached. The attachment is working. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. It wasn't in the last class. Let me check this one. Yes, it's working. Thank goodness. All right. And if you get there early, please just drop in the chat that you're there. And once I get 10 people there, I'll know that we're ready to go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it up, keep it up. Let me know when you're there. 6. 7, 8. It's taking everybody a little longer today. It's okay. When you get there, when you get to the page here on Schoology, let me know. That's 9. And 10. Thank you, Zion. Okay, so I'm going to open the first one. I'm only going to help you guys with the very first one. There's 2 today. They're not too difficult, but they make you think. They're definitely thinking. These are assignments where they're going to help you and force you to think and grow. Get better at interpreting information, comparing information, and then making decisions on this. So if I click on this and I open this, you can see that, and I think I may have opened one of yours. No, this is mine. I'm going to just do this very first one. I'm going to do this very first one. And let me see, somebody says they can't see this, so let me share my screen again. So you've got my formula. This is the formula for cellular respiration. Again, the arrow means reaction. Anything on the left side of the arrow is substrate. Anything on the right side of the arrow are products. This is my word bank. Do not copy and paste from the word bank. You must type it in there. I say you must do this because if you try to copy and paste, sometimes it expands and throws a formula out of whack. They don't want you to do that. So what you do is you click on the box first, click, And you'll see it highlighted with little, blue boxes around it. And then you double click inside of it. Boom. When you do, it's going to come up. Now, I want to know, what is one substrate that goes into this reaction? Now, before I do that, notice that this box is a little larger than this box. So I've got two of these that are going to go inside of here. So which one is the shorter that's not going to be written as long? It's going to be oxygen or glucose. Which one is shorter, oxygen or glucose? Drop it in. Let's see. I want to ask somebody. I haven't picked on Zanette today. Deleon, are you in here? Yeah, she is here. So
She's
Zanette.
shaking her head, no, she's not here.
Yeah, she's not here. Okay, so Zanette, too bad, you're here. Which is the shortest of the two? So I've got oxygen and glucose that go into cellular respiration. Which is the formula is shorter?
The first one will be the 6O2.
Yeah, 602. So there's 6 molecules of oxygen. So I'm going to put that in here. Click inside. Now you're going to type this. So 6O2. And then save and close. Ta-da. Do that. And you guys are going to be put in breakout rooms so you guys can confer. But then you've got to figure out this. So there's my mitochondria, right? And you love my drawing. That's a beautiful drawing. Hand drawn by me. Beautiful thing. Here it's a little more complicated, right? Because I've got ATP coming out of, in this case, the mitochondria in 2 places. So ATP is going to go in here twice. Which side has CO2? Which side has water? You've got to make that decision. And then which side is going to be taking in oxygen? Which side is going to be taking in the glucose? You've got to make that decision. If you need to go back into the PowerPoint, you're welcome to. But you only have 10 minutes to do this. You're going to be able to lean on each other. And you're about to be put into breakout rooms. But you need to start trying to lean on yourself, depend on yourself a little bit. And on your mark, get set, go, 10 minutes. It's open. It took me a while. This internet's dragging slow. 10 minutes, kiddos, go for it.
Glucose goes into it. So
Man, I love hearing the conversations. And by the way, you guys really did well last time. All 4 of you guys did really well in the last one.
Oh, really?
I feel like you guys really
I know,
did well.
that's so smart.
I'm gonna
thank you.
open y'all's and see how we're doing. So Batiste, let's check you guys. Let's check you first. Make sure you just open it. There's Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you've been busting some tail recently. Let's see how you got this going so far. So where are you, kid? There you are. You already got that part done. Look at you, man. You're on the road. You're on the road. You're on the road to success. You guys can share your screen. You guys know that in this breakout room. You're able to share your screen with each other.
let's see.
You guys can work on each other's together.
Oh, really? Okay.
You should be able to
Okay,
share your
then.
screen. See, try it.
So, Zanette.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Okay. Let me see. Share screen. Oh, it says host disabled.
God bless. Oh my God. All right, let me see if I can. Shoot, that sucks. I'm gonna bounce and see if I can change that.
go to,
See if you can share now real quick,
Okay.
if it'll work or not.
are you sure it's 02 or is it like 06? Because I remember.
No, it's O2.
Yep, you can do it. All right, cool, I'm bouncing.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Coolio. Hey, you guys do realize that you can share screens with each other. So let's take a look. Let's go over here to, I think Wise, we used yours last time. So let's use yours again this time. So let's go to Wise, Ibrahim. Wise, you haven't opened your document yet. We need you to open your document. Let's go to another person. You guys can share screens to help each other. So let me go here. Well, Ice, you haven't opened your document. Let's go to Mario Rodriguez. And then I'm gonna let you share your screen. You guys can help each other. And I'm bouncing to another group. Rodriguez, there he is, Mario, Tweebird. Excellent. And let's see what you got so far. So let's take a look. It looks like Mario's killing it. That looks correct. Now you got to start splitting some hairs. This is where you guys got to start talking to one another and making some decisions. So you guys can do that. Now I've given you guys permission. I just changed the settings so you guys can change, can share your own screen. You have the ability to do that and work together. Let's make sure, Kenneth, I'm gonna go and make sure that you've opened your document. And if you have, I'll bounce. Kenneth, you have not. So if you guys don't open your document and start getting to work, I'm going to bounce you out of class. And I'm going to put Mario somewhere else. So let's check out Hudson. If you don't do this, you're going to get bounced out of class. Hudson, you and Mario are working together at this time. And you're welcome. But I'm going to give you Mario and Ibrahim 30 seconds to get to work, or I'm bouncing you out of class. And then you can watch the video. That's your choice. No, not Mario. You're doing it. You're doing your job. I'm talking to Kenneth and I'm talking to Ibrahim. They have to get to work or they can't stay. You can come and watch the video later on. So you got 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Good job, Kenneth. Now you can get to work. Ibrahim, let's go see if you're there. You got 2 minutes. All right, cool. Okay. Hey, you guys know that you can share your screens. So let's go to check out. First person here is Gabe. Let's go check out what Gabe's got going on. What's Gabe got going on? So Gabe, we'll open the document for you. Let's see how we're doing. So Gabe, Mendoza. Let's see how we're doing here. And you guys, you should be talking, man. I just came from 2 other groups and it's just Chatterbox City over there. Makes it a lot easier when you guys talk. So you got glucose, oxygen. Now you've got to figure out this last part, the model itself. And we're going to come out of this That's what, and you guys can share your screens with one another. All you have to do is go to the bottom and I'll stop sharing and you can open this. But I'm going to check on other people. If you're not working on the document, I'm bouncing you out of class. So Gabe, I'll close yours. You're working. Let's go check on other people. And you can watch the recording. If you're not going to work with your partners, you can watch the recording. So Gabe, you're here. Delamora. Just making sure everybody's working. Good job. Jasmine, let's go check out Lewis. Lewis, you have not opened your document. You got 30 seconds to open it and get to work. Elliot James, let's go check out Elliot. Elliot, you've got to work. Jordan, you may have your document open in 30 seconds. Otherwise, you have to come in and watch it. So let's check on yours while I'm waiting on that 30 seconds. And Elliot, you're doing a good job. Again, it's the model that you're having a tough time with. You've got products going in, but you've got some choices here. You're going to repeat. Oh, you got the ATP. You're killing it. Good job, James. Good job. All right, you're nailing it. Let's go check on Jordan. Jordan, let's see if you got it open yet. Jordan, you got 10 seconds to get the document open and start working with your partners. Okie doke. You're welcome to watch the video later. It's not an option just to sit here. It's not an option just to sit. Deuces. Okay. Whoa. Were you guys already out of the room? You guys finished? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of people finished theirs. A lot of people finished theirs. So you guys, by and large, did pretty well. Let's take a look. Does anybody want to volunteer theirs to for us to take a look at the example? Does anybody want to volunteer? You're welcome to. If not, let's see, I'll just draft someone. I like drafting people. Let's take a look at, I really think Elliot was on the right track here. So let's go to Elliot James. I do appreciate you working as hard as you do, Elliot. You really dig in. I don't think you finished, but you definitely were on the right track whenever we bounced in your room. So let's take, I'm assuming everybody can see Elliot's, yes? Thumbs up. Yes, no, maybe so. Excellent. Yeah. So you got glucose as a substrate, oxygen as a substrate. So we breathe oxygen, we eat food, we're heterotrophs, and we release CO2 through our breath, we TT water, and then we use the ATP to do work and energy. Elliot, you got this part. You got the ATP coming out of the electron transport chain, and you got ATP here. The thing is, here you got to split hairs. You got two options. What should these be? What are the only two options these could be? And I'm talking to you, Elliot. These are going to be products of respiration because their arrows are coming out. So what are my only two options for products? We've got it up here. What are my only two options? So my formula says I've got three products. You've already got the ATP taken care of. What about my other products? What are the only two others? What are the only two others? You guys can help him out. I've got some people chatting with me, dude. You chat to him. What are his only two options that he has for products? I mean, we've got ATP as a product, but what are my only two other products? I hope he's still in this class. Elliot James, man. Sometimes oh my gosh, Elliot.
He's still here. Yeah.
Is he? I don't see his name.
I see it.
Oh, I see him now. Yeah. Oh, he's working on it. Holy crud, dude. Yeah, I was just hoping you would say it. So yeah, water's one, and that means the other, and it's in the correct place. That means the other one's got to be CO2. So this is something that you guys will get a chance to finish this evening, but we've got the last one to go. And there's another one. Today's kind of a jam-packed day. Action. I like action. It's better than just sitting around and listening to somebody talk. So now we've got the one where we compare the two models. And you're only going to have 7 minutes to do this. If you don't finish it, of course, you can see it's not due until midnight tonight. And you guys did really well on your others. And again, if you need those to be unsubmitted to change something, you can go back and look at your photosynthesis. But let's take a look at it. Open the document. And I'm assuming everybody can see this. I don't know.
It's
Okay.
showing up.
It is? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And there was a couple of kids chatting. Okay, cool. So here we've got energy coming in to this is the chloroplast. And you can see I colored it green. And then I've got mitochondria. Didn't give it any color because it doesn't really matter it's in terms of this. But you can kind of get an indication green probably means this is going to be a chloroplast with these little grana or thylakoids in here. But they're green. Chloroplasts are going to be green. And there's some sort of jagged line here indicating that it might be energy because it's bright yellow. So there's some sort of energy going into a chloroplast, and there's some sort of energy coming out of my mitochondria. So you've got we know that it's either going to be this or this for these two going into and out of. What you got to do is check out the products for photosynthesis or the reactants for respiration, and the products of respiration. The products of respiration are the reactants or substrates for photosynthesis. And you guys actually have now only 5 minutes. Let's see if anybody can get this done. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. You're going to go back to your breakout room. And you've got fewer members now. And I remember you can share your screen, so it might be great to work on one, just one, and then and share your screen and work on one person's, and then somebody else come back and work on it separately. Go, 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 5 minutes. Rosino, you got to join a group, kid. Join breakout room 5. Jump to 5, Rosino, jump to 5. Man, that's gross. Woo, man, this is the talkative group. Why don't you, who's sharing their screen, man? You guys have the ability to share your screen. Go down to the bottom. Somebody share the screen and work through this. Let's see, who's in this group? This is Mario. So check out Mario Rodriguez. Excellent. Mario, are you typing into that or are you copying and pasting in there? Mario, are you typing in there or are you copying and pasting? Huh, it's changing the format. I'll still be able to figure it out whenever I look. Let me check out Hudson, see how Hudson's doing. Hudson. You're good at Hudson. Oh man, it's screwing it up in terms of, for some of the reason it's adjusting. I'll still know which one's which. Shoot! I'll still know which one's which. I know what they are because based on the size. Based on the size, I'll know which one they are. Dadgummit. Kenneth, dude, you're not opening it, dude. You've got to work on this. I can't keep you in here if you're not going to work with your partners. It's not an option just to chill. Oh, look at that. Nice. But if you're working together on one, I'm cool with that. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, if you're working together, but you got to talk to each other. Oh my God, what happened to everybody? Hey, Dr. Smith,
Mhm.
I only got to visit 2 rooms and you were in another, so 2 rooms didn't get visited. I'm just curious, did anybody in your group share their screens?
So no, I didn't have anybody in my group share their screens.
So it's something that was really helpful. So the 2 groups that I actually, yeah, I went to 2 groups that did actually, I take that back. I visited 3 rooms. 2 groups were sharing their screens and working on one document and they were killing it. Like they were
Awesome.
blowing through it. One group was not sharing their screen. And one thing I will say, I can see that when you start to type in there, sometimes it adjusts. It moves the diagram around. We'll still be able to take a look and see which, we know which set of squares is the reactants of products for both those processes based on left and right side. You can see the arrow. So it's okay. Now, if you, these are going to be due by midnight. So dig in, lean in. If it's tough, that's great. That means that it's challenging you to think. If it's easy, it's not challenging you to think, and that's not worth your time. So if you do need some help, you can reach out to Remind this evening, but you've got your last class to go to. And again, if you would like me to unsubmit your assignment from Monday, please send a Remind message and I'll unsubmit and then you can resubmit. But there's feedback on there for what to do anyway. So it's a no-brainer. All right, you be good. We'll see you on Friday, kiddos. Friday. Everybody wants to get down on Friday. It's donuts on Friday, right? Oh, Friday.
Okay, I know nothing about that.
It's Donut Friday. We don't eat sweets at our house very often, but Friday during the summer, I go and get I walk to the donut store and
Okay.
Everybody gets a donut at our house on Friday.
Got it.
In the summer. And everybody now is comprised of myself and my daughter. That's it. That's all.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. You guys play in the street. Be good.
Don't do that.
They're old enough to know better. If they play in the street, there's bigger problems than biology. Bigger problems than biology. Okay, this one I've recorded and it stayed recording the whole time. So I'm going to close it and come right back.